Hey there, my name's Terry. My friends call me TerBear. And in 2023, I quit my job, moved into this tiny trailer with this crazy rescue mutt, and then we hit the road. And we are doing what I love to do, and that is travel and take pictures of wildlife. Some of my examples are here and here. But while we are out exploring, I'm making these videos, and into this adventure, we are at Colorado City Lake in Texas. We go on a pretty nice hike, but we do see a danger noodle. I also give the camera to Miss Maggie for a little while. That got a little crazy, but we had a good time. And then we cooked over an open fire. So I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hi there, my name is Maggie the Magnificent, and I'm out here today with the camera as my silly human Terry has allowed me to take over the filming for part of this video. As you can see Terry here, he has no idea. I do want to apologize as it is hard for me to film with no thumbs, so it may be a little shaky here, but you can bear with me as you can see this is too much fun for me to take time to straighten this camera out. But this tennis ball is my favorite thing in the world, and when he throws it in the water, that's my second favorite thing in the world. So we're really enjoying our time here. As you can tell, I am the best dog fetcher ever as I drop the ball right at his feet. Gotta do this because he's not all that smart.
Get it.
Don't worry, I'll give the camera back to him shortly, but this is too much fun. Of course, he has to get this bright idea where he's going to go throw the ball off the dock here. And I have yet another near-death experience, but we still had a lot of fun. As you can see, I go about 50 feet underwater to get off the dock, and then had to find the ball here and swim all the way back to the idiot who threw it off the end of the dock, just so he could throw it again. But I did get him with a good shake right about here. The sign says trail, and I can read that. That's my favorite thing to do. And like all good dogs that go hiking on this trail, I need to check in at this dog bush here, where all the other dogs check in, make sure I sign in, or I have to follow this guy's big butt all the way around this trail. Little did he know that I smelled all kinds of coyotes on this trail. And I was protecting him the whole time. He doesn't appreciate all that I do for him. But I have to stop often and make sure those coyotes are not near where we are. Very tough job. Don't know why there's so many pointy things on this trail either. Not a big fan of all those. They're just everywhere and they don't smell good at all. Even I like when a hike has a good view. Here we come up on the lake, and I can do my dog queen impression by standing on the edge and looking out over my domain. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, here I am protecting him by telling when the coyote was last near this rock, which a while ago, but still smells like coyote. Now you're going to see this yellow post come up here. I always like to walk on the other side of this, but today I walked on the right side. Again, these stinking pointy things. Look at me, I'm passing him. Don't have to look at his body anymore. Wait a second, was that smell? Oh no, he's in front of me again. Dang. I do enjoy going up these rocks because I can do it in 4-paw motion where my human doesn't make it up these very well. He falls down a lot. Alright, big guy. Why are we stopping here? What's going on? I can't see. What is that up there? What's a danger noodle? Uh-oh, looks like you protected me this time.
Keep going, Danger Noodle.
Well, now that excitement's over, we're finishing up this trail. And I'll spare you of any more of my camera work. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed filming it for you. And I love hiking with my big, silly human. He's not too bad. We are going to go back to camp, cook up some dinner, and I get to eat all the leftovers, which is my first favorite thing besides fetch and swimming and hiking. But it's my first favorite thing other than those things.
So we're in a little bit of a disaster created by myself. When you fail to plan, you plan for failure. So I had a nice little 7-hour drive to get to this Colorado City, Lake Colorado City campground in Texas. And that turned into almost 11 plus hours with traffic, rainstorms, wrecks, and construction. So I didn't get here until pretty late last night. Turns out the spot I wanted last night was pretty crappy. So this morning I went and upgraded my spots, which was easy peasy. But when I went to move, I didn't do my full checklist to move the trailer because I was only going about 6 spots away. So I did not put my drawer back in. Sorry about the shade here. But hopefully you'll be able to see this in my slide out kitchen. So as you can see, maybe this drawer is stuck in there and I can't get my kitchen out. Now I'm not gonna lie, this has happened to me before, and that's why I came up with my checklist. But of course I did not do my checklist. So the way to fix this is to park it up on a big hill and have the drawer slide back in on its own and then be able to open it. Well, I'm not going to move my trailer yet again while I'm here, and I'm starting to think I'm going to be here for several days. So we're just going to have to do some workarounds. The whole reason I think I'm going to be here several days is, again, failure to plan. I found out that the place I'm heading to had a late snowstorm. And I thought it was going to be too hot here to camp, but it's actually very pleasant. We're in the 60s. Tomorrow it might be low 70s. Probably won't see 80s for at least 5 days here, so I might even stay that long. Again, I don't want to be in extreme heat or extreme cold. And I'm headed towards the Gila Wilderness in New Mexico, which is that elevation, and apparently just got several feet of snow. It's a late snowstorm, so I expect it to go pretty quick, but we will see. We'll keep monitoring that. But what I'm left with to cook on tonight. So I've got a fire pit in the camp. I think you can see that here. I've got 4 pieces of pine wood here. And you definitely don't want to grill on pine. It is just terrible to grill on. It's not even healthy at all. And you don't really want to cook with pans on it either, because it's just going to mess up your pans. But I'm kind of out of options here. I do have a couple of backup things I could do, and then obviously I got a bunch of food that doesn't necessarily need to be cooked to be eaten. So I've got a few options, but I kind of want to cook out tonight, and it's going to be cool here. It's a little after 6. It's going to get down to the low 50s, so I think I'd like a fire later on tonight. So what we're going to do is process this wood. We're going to go ahead and put up my little camp stove fire pit. This one's kind of full of ashes, and I don't want to dig it all out. So we're just going to use that, and that allows me to build a smaller fire and keep it fed longer. So we're going to process the wood, put up the camp stove. I've got some food that I've already started to prep before I even realized the kitchen was down. And we hiked about 5 miles today, so both me and the Maggie are pretty dang hungry. So we're gonna go ahead and cook a good meal and get back to it. So I'll bring you along with the process, and hopefully the next week here of cooking should be at least slightly entertaining, but we will have some fun regardless. So here's something that's always pretty fun, is when Miss Maggie alerts to something in the woods behind the campsite. We don't know what it is. Pretty sure it's a rattlesnake or a panther, or possibly a bear, or maybe a duck. I don't know. All 4 sound terrifying, but she seems to calm down a little bit. Anyway, so that's our plan, and we will continue moving that way. So here we go again. All right, so we just want to process this wood and get it a little smaller so we can control how much we're burning in our smaller fire pit. Got my trusty knee pad. I got this bad boy at the dollar store. I think it was a 2-pack for $1, and I bought 4 of them, and they've been fantastic. Just extra cushions around the camp, but when I was in Arizona and the ground was so rocky, this saved my knees quite a bit whenever I was doing something similar to this. So hopefully we're just gonna make these into little pieces. They're a little wet, so it might be some effort. So that pretty much is the general idea. I'm looking to get a bunch of pieces about this big so that I can easily feed them to the fire. Normally I would just have Miss Maggie chew them down into little pieces, but that's probably not good for her teeth either. So we'll continue this, and then we'll get back to you to put the fireplace up. Right, Miss Maggie? Yes. Yes. Alright. So this guy sets up super easy. So one of the nice things about this is it burns super hot, so there's not a whole lot of ash. All that airflow gets in there. So we're not going to make this any worse by filling it with ash after the fire. A little breezy, so I'm not going to do any fancy fire starting. We're just going to use a little fire starter block I've got, a couple of smaller pieces of wood, and we're going to get this guy going. And this pine's a little wet. It was stored wet, and it rained on it the whole way here, so I imagine it's gonna take a little bit to get this going. Alright, so this was a lot wetter than I was hoping for, and it's been pretty slow to start. I do have a decent amount more wood in there than I'd like, hoping that it'll dry as it kind of burns. But as usual, I'm more hungry than I'm patient, so we are going to just start cooking on this and see what we can get out of it. As famous people always say, we're going to F around and find out. So we'll keep feeding a little fire to this, but we're going to get her going. So we're going to start heating this pan up with a very small dollop of butter in there. I think this will probably work out, but if not, we're gonna eat it anyway. So, worst case scenario is Maggie gets more food than she probably should have. But as she keeps reminding me, she has hiked 5 miles today. So, we'll keep going after this, and I'll let you know how it turns out. All right, one way or another, it looks to be working. Got some butter going. Oh yeah, it's getting nice and warm up in there. And we'll get our potatoes added. Again, I'm using my stainless instead of the cast iron just because I know this pine wood's going to jack it up, and I'm more worried about the cast iron than I am the stainless. So we will get these potatoes to see if we can get them crisped up some, and then we'll add our sausages. And then we'll put the seasoning on at the very end so we don't burn all the seasonings. Oh yeah. Alright, so this is actually working out a little better than I thought. I was worried about temperature being too hot and just burning my butter and ruining everything. But fortunately, it's been going pretty good actually. So we're shaping up nicely. Our potatoes are starting to crisp up a little. Gonna give it a few more minutes on the potatoes before I add the sausage. You gotta balance that fat in the sausage with the potatoes. It's pretty funny here. In between turning the camera on, I've been rocking out and singing along because, you know, there's nobody in this campground right now. I've got the whole place to myself. But of course, I'm doing that, and a car drives by, and with a tent on top, and they did a quick U-ey and got away from me pretty quick. So apparently they did not care much for my singing, which is a shame because I could probably go all night singing, and they would have been very entertained. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to singing and rocking out these potatoes, and we'll follow up in a minute. Whew! All right, guys, this is going a lot better than I expected. I mean, as an expert restaurateur, this is going exactly how I foresaw it. But these are crisping up super nice. I'm not overly hot. I can see the bottom of my pan is pretty much trashed. But again, that's why I was using the stainless steel. I think I can get that cleaned up a lot easier than the cast iron. So I think it's time we add the secret ingredient here, some sausages. And we're gonna finish this off. Very happy that I've just moved all my spices to a different place instead of the kitchen slide that is stuck. So I do have my spices available to me. My lovely cousin-in-law, Carla, just sent me a bunch of umami and seasoning and garlic seasoning. So we're gonna add that, and then we're gonna put a little bit of everything bagel sauce on this as well, because that makes everything so much better. Not everything bagel sauce, but everything bagel seasoning. So anyway, we're gonna keep rocking out and cooking this up, and I'll hopefully have a finished product for you shortly. All right, so we got this sausage. It's browning up perfectly, and our coals, well, fire has died, not much coals with the pine. We want to be able to throw some more wood on this to keep the fire going while we have dinner. So I think we're pretty close to calling it, so it's about time we start putting some seasonings on this bad boy. We got a little granulated garlic, which is always good on everything. Got some Trader Joe's umami sauce, and this stuff is great on everything as well. And speaking of everything, we got everything bagel seasoning. This is the Kirkland's version, which is not nearly as good as the Trader Joe's version for some reason, but still, I get all this for half the price of the Trader Joe's version. So we are going to load that up. And then we're gonna get this all mixed together. And because I'm a nomad and I'm a dirty hippie, I'm gonna eat right out of this pot. But I will spare you from seeing that. But I can already tell you this is gonna be fabulous. So I appreciate you coming along for dinner tonight. We will also post a pretty cool video of the hike we did today. I think that was pretty exciting. We did see a big old danger noodle, but we escaped with our lives, so that was a bonus. So anyway, thanks for watching. Right on, thanks for watching. We are going to be at Palo Duro Canyon, Texas. That's the Grand Canyon of Texas is what they call it. For our next episode, please join us for that. Again, thanks for watching.